How to create trust relationship between two domains. Trust relationships are used to give ability to users in one domain to access the resources in another domain. Normally, the users of one domain will be having authentication to use the resources in that domain only in which they reside. But if we want to give the permission to the users to use resources in another domain, you have to create trust relationships between these two domains. There are two types of trust relationships: automatic and manual trust relationships. The automatic trust relationships are created when we create domains in the same forest, and the manual trust relationships are created by the administrators of the domains manually. And there are two types of authentications, like forest wide and domain wide authentication. In the forest wide authentication, all the domains in one forest will be trusted by all the domains in another forest. And in the domain wide authentication, the trust relationship will be limited to single domains in two forests. So the users in only one domain will be able to access the resources in another domain in a different forest. So the trust relationship will be only between the two domains. This is a simple scenario of trust relationship. We have the Contoso.com and Tailspin.com, two domains which are entirely situated in different forests. And you can see that my trust goes from Contoso.com to Tailspin.com. That means that when the trust relationship direction is from one domain to another, like here in the trust relationship is from Contoso.com to Tailspin.com, the direction of the trust relationship is from Contoso.com to Tailspin.com. So the users in the Tailspin.com will be able to access Contoso.com. So that is how it works. And here you can see some types of trust relationships: one-way outgoing, two-way trust, one-way incoming. So these are some of the types of trust. There are a vast variety of authentication types and trust relationships that we can use. We will see them when go to the lab. So the one-way outgoing means that the trust relationship is only outgoing. So the trust relationship will be in one-way direction. When the trust is outgoing from Contoso.com to Tailspin.com, the users of the Tailspin.com will be able to access Contoso.com resources. And if the trust is incoming, like when the trust is incoming from Tailspin.com to Contoso.com, the users from Contoso.com will be able to access the Tailspin.com resources. And if we have a two-way trust relationship, that is one-way outgoing and one-way incoming, you can say that the Contoso.com users can access the Tailspin.com resources, and the Tailspin.com users can access the Contoso.com resources. So that is the two-way trust. And in the authentication type, we have selective authentication, forest-wide authentication, and domain-wide authentication. In selective authentication, we can specify which users can use what resources in our domains. And in forest-wide authentication, as I have told you earlier, the trust relationship will be between two forests, to entire forest. So all the domains in one forest will be able to access the resources of all the domains in the other forest. And in the domain-wide authentication, the trust relationship will be limited to only two domains in different forests. So any other domains outside this trust relationship will not be able to access any other resources in the other domain. We will now go on to two domain controllers of Contoso.com and Tailspin.com, and we will create a trust relationship between them, and we will see how it works.
I am now logged on to a Windows 7 machine where, as you can see, I have 4 remote desktop connections configured to connect to the Contoso.com DC, the Tailspin.com DC, and to the two clients for these two domains. We will be now connecting to these domain controllers, and we will create a trust relationship between them. So first I will connect to the Contoso.com DC. And before going on with the configurations, I have to make sure something, that my forest functional level and my domain functional level are same for the two domain controllers. So I will right click on the domain and go to functional level, and here you can see the functional level of Contoso.com is Windows Server 2008. I will also check my forest functional level. That I have to go to the Active Directory Domains and Trust, right click on the root, and click on raise forest functional level, and here also the forest functional level is Windows Server 2008. So I will now minimize this remote desktop and I will connect to the tailspin.com DC and check the same things here, whether it is same as that of the contoso.com domain. You can see that the current domain functional level for tailspin.com is Windows Server 2003. So I will have to raise it to the 2008 to successfully configure a forest trust relationship. Click on raise and click on OK, and I'll click on OK, and I have successfully changed my functional domain functional level to Windows Server 2008. And now I have to change the forest functional level also. For that I will right click on the root, click on raise functional level. I will select the Windows Server 2008, click on raise, click on OK, click on OK, and we also have to check whether we have a connectivity between these two domains, whether they can resolve the name of each other's. So I will just ping the contoso.com domain from the tailspin.com DC, and I have the reply from the contoso.com. So I have the connectivity to the contoso.com domain controller. If you are not getting this ping reply from in your scenario, you have to make sure that your network configurations are correct. You have to put the IP address of the DNS server of the other domain in the alternate DNS server, or as an alternative you can create a stub zone for that domain in your DNS server. This is the simplest way. Now I can go on to the contoso.com DC. For creating a domain or forest level trust relationship, you have to go to the domains and trust, Active Directory domains and trust from the administrative tools, and you can right click on the domain and take the properties of the domain and click on trust. Here you can see that I do not have any kind of trust relationship for now, so I can click on new trust and the new trust wizard will come up. Can click on next, type in the name of the forest to which I want to establish the trust relationship. I will type in tailspin.com. I'll click on next, and here we have the first type of trust, external trust or forest trust. The external trust is the domain level trust, which says that it is a non-transitive trust between a domain and another domain in outside the forest, and a non-transitive trust is bounded by the domains in the relationship. So it's a domain to domain relationship. And here we have the forest trust, and it says that a forest trust is a transitive trust relationship between two forests that allows users in any of the domains in one forest to be authenticated in any of the domains in the other. So we'll be creating a forest trust now. You click on next, and here we can select whether we want a two-way or a one-way trust. If we select the two-way trust, the users in this domain will be able to access the resources in the other domain, and the users on the other domain will be able to access the resources in this domain. Or we can select from one way incoming or one way outgoing. The description is given here, you can read them and understand very easily. So I will create a two-way trust now. I will click on next. So this asks where should we create this trust relationship. If we want to create on this domain only, we can select the first one, or if we want to create the trust relationship on both the domain controllers, we can select the second option and click on next. If we select the second option and click on next, it will ask me for the domain username and password of the other domain. So as I am the administrator for both the domains now, I can select the second option and click on next, because I know the administrator username and password of the other domain. And in a real-time scenario, if you do not have the username and password of the other domain, you have to select this domain only and ask the administrator of the other domain to do the same, to create the two-way trust relationship on his domain also. I'll click on both this domain and the specified domain and click on next. And here it asks for the tailspin.com credentials. I have to give the username and password of the tailspin.com administrator account. I can click on next. It will verify it and proceed. This is the two type of authentications: forest wide authentications and selective authentication. If we use the forest wide authentication, normal users will have access to all the resources in the local forest, and if we select the selective authentication, we have to manually give each users their specific permissions. So I will go on with the forest wide authentication. I will click on next, and this is this options that will affect the second forest. I'll click on the forest wide authentication there also and click on next, and the selections are complete, and I can see the summary here. Can click on next. Now making changes to the forest, and I will click on next. This is asking for a confirmation, so I will click on yes and click on next. I'll click on yes for the second domain also and click on next. I will click on finish, and the forest trust relationship has been complete, and you can see the status here. I'll click on OK, and let me check whether this has completed in the other domain, which is tailspin.com DC. I'll connect to the tailspin.com DC now, and we'll go to Active Directory Domains and Trust. Right click and take the properties, and we'll click on trust, and you can see the condoso.com trust relationship has automatically created here. This is because we selected the option to create the trust relationship on both of these domains. So this is how you create trust relationship between two domains in Windows Server 2008. So now the users of condoso.com will be able to access the resources in tailspin.com, and the users in tailspin.com will be able to access the resources in condoso.com. And I hope this was informative for you. Thank you for watching.